Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sorting Thoughts podcast. And today we will be talking about holiday stories that shaped us. Christmas is one of my favorite holiday of the year, if not the favorite. All the colors, the twinkling lights, the hot chocolates, the family reunions, giving gifts, wrapping them in papers meticulously, the music and the films. I love all of it. So I thought, why not pick one book, one TV show, one film, and one album that has had more of a presence in my household and to just talk about it. So, if you're interested in that, let's get into it.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Christmas is literally shaped by all of these different amazing stories. It makes Christmas what it is, and it really emphasizes everything. And these stories were either being read to us at bedtime or shown to us on TV, or we listened to them on repeat, and those beautiful memories really got engraved in our brains. And so we are literally shaped by this part of pop culture that also defrosts every year, like Mariah Carey tweets and Instagram posts on November 1st. And it's literally the same sound that she uses, like it's time, but the visual is different. And we all wait for that the day after Halloween. And personally, I wait every year and I look forward to listen to my Merry Ho Ho playlist, songs that hold the beauty and magic of Christmas. And also every year I also look forward to the day I'll be able to set the Christmas tree up at my parents' house and my grandparents' house. I always make sure to set up the same decorations every year. Like my grandparents have this old Father Christmas kind of doll that plays music and that they've had since I was a newborn, like maybe even before I was born. It always plays two different songs and it gets on everybody's nerves during Christmas dinner because it's so loud. Like I swear to God, it's so loud and we used to play it so much to drive our parents crazy. We would literally rage bait them with that Father Christmas and they would bite. They would take the bite, literally. And also, when I was a kid, I always used to look forward to Christmas Eve dinners at my grandparents' house because my cousins and I would all sleep together upstairs in the same room at my old grandparents' house. So when you think about it, Christmas does hold a lot of nostalgia. And every year that nostalgia comes out, and I always want to watch again all the VHS cassettes that I used to have as a kid, and some of them had like Christmas specials with Mickey Mouse, and I always look forward to watching these little kid movies that I used to love so much because they're so magical in a way. And so with this episode, I really wanted to give in that nostalgia and give you one book, one film, one TV show, and one album that I play every year, something that has become a staple in my house and that is something that we can't live without during the Christmas season. So it was a difficult task for me to choose just one of each because I am a Libra and my indecisive side comes out a lot when it's about things that don't really hold too much consequences, like picking a film. Like I would need to pick, if I were to make like a top 3 of movies, like I wouldn't be able to do it without taking into accountability the genre, the actor, the year, the decade. Like it's a whole thing. It's the same with music. And so it's these sort of things where I can't decide on which one is my favorite. Like even my 4 favorite films on Letterboxd, that was really hard to make because I want to include every thing that I've ever loved and I can't choose. So yeah, in any other situation, I'm good. Like if it's a big decision that I have to make, I'm fine with that. But Anyways, we're not here to talk about that. So let's start off with a Christmas book that really shaped my Christmas spirit. So this book is called The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore, and it came out in 2024, and it's about Kara North, and she hates Christmas, which is unfortunate since she just bought a Christmas tree farm in a town that's too cute for its own good. Bennett Ellis is on vacation in Dream Harbor trying to take a break from both his life and his constant desire to fix things. But somehow, fate finds Ben trapped by a blanket of snow at Kira's farm. And despite her grinchiest first impressions with the glow of the fairy lights twinkling in the trees and the promise of a warming hot chocolate, maybe, just maybe, these two lost souls will have a Christmas they'll remember forever. This book is the third installment of the Dream Harbor series. The first one was the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and the second one was the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. This book felt like a holiday-themed Christmas Hallmark movie. You know what the outcome is going to be, but you still watch or hear read. And it's this very cute little town, and each book of this series focuses on one specific character, and it's so cute. And with each book, you get a little intel on like past stories or maybe a sneak peek of the future ones. So that I find very interesting, and I'm always looking for these little moments in the books. And all these stories are very cliche and generic, but it's still very entertaining to me. It's a feel-good story. Your Christmas spirit is going to be lifted. It's a cute romance, but it's also just the tip of the iceberg. These books might be some kind of like very cliche romance story, but underneath it all, with the two main characters, it focuses on real personality issues people have, like not letting someone in to avoid heartbreak, so that stops you from truly living and experiencing. It also digs in the characteristic of never accepting anyone's help, being very independent, too much actually, that you actually take offense every time someone offers their help. But that's because you've been over disappointed in the past. And how can you be disappointed by anyone if you are the only one taking care of things, you know? It also talks about how some people always want to fix things up because they can't handle having something broken, and that speaks like level on things that they've probably experienced in the past, like maybe a dysfunctional family, and they've always wanted to have that very much functional family, and so they want to fix everything up just for everything to be perfect. But everything that's perfect is not very much real, you know? Sometimes it's just like a lot is fake, and having things not be so perfect makes things raw and makes things special, you know? So yeah, the book is not just about a simple romance. It really speaks about real issues that real people have, and that some take ages to figure out they have those issues, and for some it might be hard to overcome these issues. And with this seeming like this picture perfect Christmas book, and when you open it, you're like, oh, this is much deeper than I thought. It really makes everything so raw, and some might find this relatable. Like, I do find it relatable on the fact that it took me a while to overcome my over independence, like to let someone in. And at one point I was just like, well, girl, if you want to live, if you want to have experiences, you're going to have to get out there and make mistakes and open your heart, because being closed off has not helped you live life the way that you should, you know? And it might take a while to to overcome these issues that you have, but for good reasons. You've had them for a good reason, you know? You don't become over independent for nothing, you know, like there's always an explanation behind that, but it makes the book even more relatable because it's not picture perfect. It's real. And personally, I want to read things that might seem picture perfect, but are actually very far from it. It's just something, an image that those people want to give you. But when you actually are behind closed doors, you figure all these things and you're like, oh, so I'm not the only one doing that. And I'm not the only one maybe feeling miserable during Christmas, because you have the right to be feeling miserable during Christmas. It's not because it's Christmas that you always have to be lifted up in holiday spirits, you know? There's this quote that I like in the book about growth, and it also definitely talks about being closed off because you don't want to get hurt, like I mentioned earlier. And it is, unfortunately, no one really advertises that growth hurts. And that is so true. Like when you're a kid and you see all these grown-ups, you only want to be a grown-up. You're like, I want to have money. I want to have a house. I want to have all these things. I want to be able to drive a car. And it's like, once you're a grown up, you're like, oh, I miss those days where I was innocent and I didn't know how flawed society was, and, you know, that I was living in my own little bubble and that I had no responsibilities. And it really speaks for itself. And I also liked another one that said, the lies we tell ourselves are often stronger than the truth. They worm their way into our hearts and our minds until they're all we see, all we believe. And that one really joins the fact of telling yourself that you can do this alone, that you can be closed off, that you're going to be fine like that. You'd rather be alone than with the wrong people, and that's fair. That's true. But it's not the solution. Like that, I do agree with that statement, but I also believe in the fact that if you give the right people the chance, you'll never be disappointed. You just have to be very picky about who comes in your life and who doesn't. And that's how you're gonna live with the right people. So yeah, I feel like it's a reality that we all struggle with, and that by being so hard on ourselves, we totally forget our own selves, actually. And I feel like the only way I was able to overcome that personally was to, every time I was saying something bad about myself, every time that, you know, that little thought comes in like a little devil on your shoulder out of nowhere, I would literally just stop myself mid-sentence and say the opposite. And when you continue to do that for a while, when you reprogram your mind to be kinder to yourself, to be gentler with yourself, it becomes a habit, and then you'll switch the narrative and believe in that good narrative and not that negative narrative that you've been putting on yourself for many years. Because I'm also a firm believer that whatever you tell yourself, you end up becoming, because you end up believing in that, and then you end up believing that you are not worth any of those things. But then you get what you don't want. And so by reprogramming your mind and switch the narrative and actually believing in yourself, you will end up being more motivated. You'll end up like not feeling like shit all the time. And that's a really good thing to feel. And as Christmas is a holiday that reminds you to be kinder and to be gentler with everyone else, apply this to yourself too. Because if you're applying it to others but not yourself, there's something wrong. So please be kinder to yourself. You'll feel so much better, and it's not that hard. I promise you. It seems like it is, but it's not. And once you overcome that, it's great. It really is. I definitely recommend you this book. It's cute, it's cliche, feels like a Hallmark movie, feels cozy. It also has a little bit of spice, so you have to be able to handle that. But yeah, I do recommend it. It's a really good read. And I'm going to read the next one this month called The Gingerbread Bakery. It also takes place during Christmas based on the cover that I've seen. So I've been holding off from reading it since it came out in September. So I'll get back to you on that in my book club meeting wrap of the year, maybe. And now moving on to a movie and a TV show that to me feel like December. And the movie that I chose is purely based on nostalgia and Christmas traditions. It is the one and only The Polar Express. I think it came out in the early 2000s, I believe. 2004. So that was almost 21 years ago. Crazy how time flies so fast. This movie is so good. Like, my parents showed it to me and my sister, and we fell in love with it. And we've been rewatching that movie over and over and over again every Christmas. And it's just so good. And it is about a doubting young boy takes an extraordinary train ride to the North Pole. He embarks on a journey of self-discovery that shows him that the wonder of life never fades for those who believe. So this movie was directed by Robert Zemeckis. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sorry. And in this movie, you have Tom Hanks. He plays like 5 different characters, but you also have the one and only Josh Hutcherson. He plays Hero Boy. This movie, like I've said before, is a movie that I watch religiously with my family every year. And my sister and I love to put it on the TV when we're setting up our Christmas tree. And since I've been watching this movie for, 21 years, I've always loved to add a little train around my Christmas tree. When I put my train around my Christmas tree after it's all set up, it itches something in my brain. It's like, this is perfect, you know? Anyways, back to the movie. It's such a comforting movie with its colors, the story, the hope that maybe a train will come in front of your house and take you to meet Santa Claus. The song they sing also as well, When Christmas Comes to Town. That song is so beautiful. I love it. Like, we're literally jumping to it with my sister. It's just so good, so beautiful. They do break down a little bit about the good and evil that children do because, you have children that are on the good list and you have children that are on the naughty list. But this is not really what this movie is truly about. It's about faith and hope and connections to believe in what you want to believe and never let the fear of others judging you stop you. And I feel like that's a very beautiful message. Like, it really goes beyond the fact that Christmas is about gifts and specifically receiving gifts. It's more about giving gifts than anything else, truly. And I feel like it's a great lesson to teach your kids through a film. And I feel like that has very much stuck with my sister and I and how we approached the idea of a gift and how we've always been humble about it and how now that we're grown-ups, we're more interested in the fact of giving away a gift than receiving one actually. And yeah, it's really about giving to the people that you love and wanting to make them happy through a gift. And that's something that I love to do. I love that this movie is really about the intention behind a gift. And it's not only about receiving. And I feel like that's a good lesson. I love that it also talks about social backgrounds with each kid. Like each kid has a different social background. Like Billy comes from a poor neighborhood. Like you can see that he doesn't have a lot of money, that his family doesn't have a lot of money, but he's still very humble, still very nice, still very kind. And he does wish to have gift on Christmas, but most importantly, he wants to be with his family. And you have this other kid, the nerdy kid, that probably comes from a very rich family that has everything, is a know it all. He's also taught something in this film. And then you have the hero boy who's middle class, you could say, but maybe a little selfish compared to that other girl that also comes from hero girl, that also seems to be coming from a middle class background, but she's more humbler than hero boy. And so they all teach something to each other. So I feel like this movie also shows that not everybody is lucky on Christmas. Not everybody is lucky enough to have their whole family together. And when you really think about it, you're like, oh, I actually do. I'm grateful to have all my family with me, because you don't necessarily think about that because you're so used to it. But there's people that might not get gifts on Christmas. There's people that don't have their entire family to celebrate Christmas with. Others might have, it might be a hurtful holiday for them because they don't have a family anymore because they were rejected. There's also people that do not have a roof over their head on Christmas, and they have to face the cold and survive through it, literally. And it's a really good movie that teaches a lot of lessons. Like, you might not necessarily see them when you're a kid, but as you grow up and you keep watching that movie, like, each time I feel like you're taught a lesson until you've figured all the lessons that are hidden in this movie. And it really makes you think about life in general and how lucky and grateful one can be on Christmas. So, because it's not the case for everybody. And these people deserve to be think about. And yeah, Christmas might be a happy period for you. It might not be for others. For others, it might be like a very tough season. And yeah, they deserve to be acknowledged. I almost forgot to mention this, and after I'll be done with the movie, Josh Groban's song during the credit really emphasizes what the movie is about. And he says, in parentheses, you can have everything you need if you just believe. So yeah, this movie is very hopeful while also being very in touch with things, with reality. So yeah, loved it. Recommend it. Everybody needs to watch this movie. So I've talked about never letting other people judge you, impact you. There's also this very cute TV show called Dash and Lily that was released in 2020 on Netflix. It's so good. It obviously takes place during the Christmas holiday season, but it's about two teenagers living in New York City. They develop mutual romantic feelings as they open up to each other by trading messages as well as dares in a notebook around a multitude of locations. Along the way, they deal with how their blossoming romance affects and is impacted by friends, family members, and previous love interests. Unfortunately, this cute little Christmas TV show only has one season. It got canceled after the first one. And that made me so sad. I loved it so much. Like, if you like romantic comedy TV shows, you'll love this one. It has literally all the ingredients of a cliched romantic Christmas comedy. It really captures the magical, cozy spirit of New York City during the Christmas time, with its twinkling lights, the snow, the bookstores, the holiday markets, the Rockefeller Center ice rink, and its big Christmas tree. It's really visually a love letter to New York City during the holiday season. Like every time I watch it, like I do wish that I could teleport myself in there. It really has this perfect romantic and festive atmosphere that everyone is looking for during December, or an atmosphere that everyone loves to see in a movie. And like every city should be decorated like New York. Like Christmas vomited all over the city. I love that. I love how there's so much lights and decorations over there. I wish every city could have that, but that's not very good for the environment. Now that I've talked about all the things that don't really matter, like the material side of the TV show, let's dig in a little bit. And this show is more than just being beautiful and appealing to the eye. It's also about not being afraid of taking risks in your life and to also believe in random connections when you need them the most. Like, you know how sometimes, and it's so crazy how someone will enter your life at the most unexpected time, but you end up having the best of time with that person. And it's exactly what you needed. And this is what Lily and Dash are for each other. They really bump into each other at the right time. Lily has this like beautiful love for Christmas, and Dash really rediscovers Christmas through her eyes, and it's very beautiful to see. But Dash has this side of him where he pushes Lily to step out of her comfort zone and take a leap of faith, really. They both bring something to each other. They teach each other lessons and they grow from there. And it's really beautiful to see. And they grow this cute little romance between them. They really do complete each other. Both of their journeys reflect this sort of feel good transformation people look for in a holiday story. And it's also very uplifting. It's like a comedy, so it brings your spirit up. And since it's taking place during Christmas, it lifts your holiday spirit up. And there's one last thing that does lift your holiday spirit up. What could that be? By listening to holiday music, one of the greatest inventions in the entire world. I love holiday music. And there's a lot out there. There's so many. We all know Mariah Carey is the queen of Christmas, right? Like, there's no debate on that. Just like Michael Bublé's Christmas album is a staple, like, you can't escape it. There's no way for you to escape it. Like, Michael Bublé's music is everywhere in Hallmark movies. It's even in the Polar Express. They do play Santa Claus is Coming to Town from Michael Bublé in the Polar Express when they get to the North Pole. I was so stunned when I found that out. I was like, hold on, is that who I think it is? And it was. There's also an album that Liz Gillies and Seth MacFarlane released. It's a beautiful jazzy Christmas rendition of all Christmas classics. They released it a few years ago, I believe. And it's the perfect music to play on a record player. But my heart is going to go with Fruitcake by Sabrina Carpenter. There's also another beautiful EP called Christmas and Chill by Ariana Grande. And I feel like it's something that's been said in the pop culture is that Christmas and Chill walked so Fruitcake could run. And I feel like I do stand by that. It's really cute little Christmas EPs that have this staple Christmas instrumental, but with pop sounds added to it. And it works perfectly. But back to Fruitcake, it is bangers on top of bangers. And I don't think I could go on a Christmas without listening to that album. It came out 2 years ago, and it's already a staple in my house. Fruitcake, like I've said earlier, mixes holiday warmth with a fresh and modern pop twist, and This EP doesn't try to be like any other Christmas albums, if that makes sense. It doesn't imitate it, it really just reimagines these classics, which feels like they're brand new songs, like you've never heard them before. So in this EP, you have brand new songs like Announces Christmas, Cindy Lou Who, Buy Me Presents, Senna Doesn't Know You Like I Do, and Is It New Year's Yet? And it is mixed with a traditional rendition of White Christmas. And these original songs might be brand new, but they have this perfect blend of festive sounds like bells, choir, cozy melodies, and they're mixed with her very significant pop humor and sound. Like Announces Christmas is the perfect mix of what I just described. It's peak comedy. Like there's nothing better. There's nothing better than that song. It's so good and it's so funny and it's so catchy and it really like whenever I listen to it during the rest of the year, I'll always think about the Nonsense Christmas remix. But when I'm listening to the Christmas remix, I'll always think about the original song and I'm like my brain is mixing the two or sometimes I'll even mix the two. And I catch myself being like, whoa, no, wrong lyrics, wrong season. This is not, but it's just so good. Like the two versions are just so good. So, as you've understood, there's a lot of comedy, but there's also a few songs that feel nostalgic. They also feel hopeful, which is exactly what makes this EP a holiday replayable year after year. And it will be the case for many years to come. Like I've said, this album has become a staple in my house and it will stay like that for, yeah, just like Christmas and Chill has been for me for over 10 years now. Same with that album. What's striking also about this album is that it doesn't make a perfect picture of Christmas. And that's what stands out the most in this album. It focuses on the awkward, the heartbroken, the funny moments that we can't pause during the holiday season. Like, she focuses on real life moments and it's very relatable compared to traditional Christmas songs that are more about hope and faith, and some are very religious and all that jazz, you know. And you do have hope and faith in this album, but you also have raw emotional whiplash, ironic cheer, and chaos. It's a real booster. It really is. It makes you feel not alone when you can relate to these songs, I feel like. Because all you see in film, TV, and books is the perfect picture with the perfect couple, the perfect family relationship, always in a Christmas mood, when in reality, it is much more dysfunctional. You don't have the perfect family. You might not get along with some family members, but you don't have a choice but to put up with them for dinner that only happens once a year. You might be heartbroken and your family might be asking all these questions that you wish you didn't have to answer to. So you only wait for this dinner really to go by as fast as it could so you can be done with it. And Sabrina really perfectly captures that, specifically in Is It New Year's Yet? And all the melodies of these new songs are so captivating. They get stuck in your head as soon as you hear them. And I mean that in the best way. Like, I want those songs to be stuck in my head because they're so good. But, anyways, you should go listen to it. You should stream it. It's a really good Christmas EP and it's not that long. As I said, it's an EP. There's like 6 songs on it and it's really beautiful. You'll have a blast. Love it, love it, love it, love it so much. So these were my holiday stories that shaped me in the best way, I want to say. And these stories are so different for each and every one of us. And I love that. I love how it's so versatile. And how the holiday spirit can be found throughout so many different things in a book, in a film, in a TV show, and in music. And they really do shape us in terms of how we approach Christmas when we're kids. Then we grow up, and so do these stories. Your favorites might change. You'll maybe find joy in different things, but I feel like Christmas is a very good reminder to be kind, to be gentle. You never know what people are going through in their lives. And I also mean that by be kind and be gentle to yourself, because yourself comes first and you deserve to be kind with yourself. And yeah, maybe show a little affection with a smile. It might make someone's day. I do love the Christmas season and how so hopeful it can be compared to the rest of the year, but it also can be sad because you might reflect on how you did this year and you might tell yourself, oh, I haven't done so much compared to that person. And I think you shouldn't compare yourself to others. I think you should look where you started in January and look at where you're now and just be proud of yourself and be proud of even the smallest achievement that you've made. And also, most importantly, for surviving the year, because I know how difficult it can be out there. And for me, these stories are sort of an escape, but not only the Christmas ones, all year round. Films, books, and music are my escapes, and I love them so much, and I love to share about them. So yeah, be proud of where you're at now. Stop comparing yourselves to other because everyone's path is different, and you're probably meant to be right where you're supposed to be. You're gonna get where you want to get in life, but it's gonna be different for you, and it's gonna be fit for you. So trust the universe. Trust, I don't know what you want to believe in, but trust the fate. Trust the fate that this is where you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And keep on being you. Keep on being kind to yourself, kind to others. Be grateful for all the experiences that you've had because they've shaped you into who you are today. And you wouldn't be yourself without them. So don't regret them. Just take them as a lesson. I know it's easier said than done, actually, but I know whoever is listening is going to get there someday and have a different look on things. But I really do hope you guys liked this episode. Don't forget to follow for more, and please do share your own holiday staples. I would very much like to maybe discover new things. I would love that. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.